Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to 1470s recap video, and it's also 4080s preparation video. But before we proceed, please don't forget to click like, subscribe and leave a comment. Your support on every single video is very important to me and I would really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's jump right into the video. The 1470s decade was an express decade, so I'm literally running out of time. Tomorrow comes out the first episode and I'm filming the last one today, and I'm super behind the schedule. I think I still need to edit about 6 videos. I'm just I'm behind. I'm trying my best. So therefore I didn't do like too much preparations, but I made 2 new sims since from the previous recap video. I've used 2 in this decade. So let me show you who will join us in future. And I decided to go sort of full occult for this edition. So first one is Isabel. I thought it was a name that could work in many countries at the same time. This is just a sim from the gallery which I heavily cast edited, and I made her into a mermaid, and this is how she looks like. The idea here is for her to sort of be a quite universal theme, maybe for a more important family, but she has a twist, which is that she is a mermaid, and this is her mermaid form. So I did glam her up a lot, very Zara Larsson coded. Wasn't planned so, but I just thought, why not? Like, if she's this creature that is like mystical and mythical, I might as well go for it. So she does leave a huge impression, and I gave you this colorway of the mermaid outfit. It's actually one of my favorites here. I really like it. So what do you think? Do you like Isabel? I think she's a cute addition. She's sort of borderline medieval, borderline fantasy theme. And next one is a little bit different, yet also occult, and this is Constance. Again, I thought the name could be quite suitable for many different countries, and she's a spellcaster theme, and I wanted to make an evil witch, but I couldn't find like evil looking theme in the gallery, so I went with her, and I decided that maybe she's sort of kind, sort of evil, sort of still trying to understand who she is. I decided to give her, like, spice up her genetics in a way. I gave her these white eyes and white eyelashes, and if I'm able to continue it with some themes going forward, this would be quite interesting to me. She also has very white hair, and yeah, she's dressed like that. I wish actually that spellcasters had a second form, so maybe she looks like a normal theme or slightly normal, but when she actually does some sort of magic, she becomes evil or kind. This would be quite cool in my opinion. Again, I know this is not like perfect medieval, and I could have gotten a hat, like a medieval hat, instead of using the one from the Halloween stuff pack, but I thought, you know, she's probably gonna marry into side household, so we will only and mostly see her from this angle. So yes, let me know your thoughts on these editions. They are very small, but I think potentially could be quite impactful for the future. And actually, since I was literally editing back to back most of the videos this decade, I started saving some clips that I shot in between, and it's like funny moments, weird moments, because, you know, I'm sitting at least 4 hours for each episode to film. One of the episodes in this decade took me 8 hours to film. Let's not talk about that. But I basically sit and talk into the camera, and sometimes I talk to myself, and I just piled up some parts, not a lot, you know, just to test it for the recap. And if you enjoy it, we can do it next time as well. So here it is. Audio still works? Yes. Perfect. And first we have to roll for... I don't remember if I even had the thing on in the previous video here. I'm a freaking idiot. I can't with myself. I really can't with myself at this point. Was I recording this? Yes. Wow, so many things in this inventory. I don't know why I did that. You're welcome. What was that even? I never do such things, just so you know. I don't know where this came from. I better delete this from the video. Whew. Alright, so Wildy needs to roll everything. I keep forgetting to say like partners' names, but I don't know. If I don't remember, you don't remember. that's what I think. But if you do remember and you prefer me to say it, please let me know in the comments. I don't know why I did it this way. This is so weird. Oh my gosh, it scared me. Screaming in the mirror like that. Come on. And let's jump right into the video. And looks like I have no voice. I don't know why. I'm sorry. It doesn't work very well. Okay. And well, the famine in Italy. I love when the Sims get all together in a tiny toilet room. Oh, look, Gerard is also coming. So just so you know, it's like 10 p.m. right now. I was like, after the dinner, because I had to work all day today, like literally from like 8 a.m. till like 7 p.m. I had very quick lunch and I was like enjoying the dinner. I watched one episode of Solar Opposites and then I was like, I'm just gonna film a video. So potentially I would finish before midnight and go to bed because tomorrow I have to do the same amount of workload that I did today. But nah. Like, I'm gonna be sitting here most of the night, probably. That's so crazy to me. And the last one today is Skylar. And the last one today is Skylar. And the last one today is Skylar Stephanos Dracos. I can't speak. I'm so upset about everything. And the last one today is. I can't. I'm not doing it. I'm just gonna delete her. I cannot say her name. And the audio was working this whole time, right? Right. That's perfect. Hi. Oh, I'm still filming. Oh no, I'm still filming. Snowball. Unimpressed whatsoever. I had a courier that called, and then my friend asked me to send the pictures of all my skull pandas from Pop Mart, and I took pictures of them because I have a favorite collection, which is like one of my first unboxing videos. Anyways, what was I doing? And first we have to roll for Amis, who just gave burn. OMG, I'm on something today. I can't speak. Who forgot to click record? It's me. Look at him. He is so unimpressed today. Well, me too, actually. I would pick him up, but he is white and I'm wearing a black t-shirt. Oh, Donis. Who the hell is Donis? I don't remember a child named Donis anymore. Let's go ahead and finish the day in the main household. Bella, how do I... How do... How? How do I? And well, gay... Oh. And that we have Zoe now, the car. The car. I was recording this whole time. Good. It's a boy. Oh. Oh. It's a girl. Yeah, Bonnie. This was cooked. I meant cooked. She looks exactly like She looks exactly like Alex. Oh. I am so terrified of the vote. So let's move on to the Bless me. And I was recording that, okay. It's so late. It's midnight. And I feel like I'm just a mess. In a way, it's like, I don't know if I'm playing the challenge or challenge is playing me. Joyce, come on. Joyce, hello? Joyce? I did it. I filmed the whole decade. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe it. Don't forget to like this video if you see this. I'm gonna go sleep now. And now to the 1470s recap part of the video. 1470 began with a May Day celebration, which usually for my gameplay means that at the very least, any sim that ages up into a teenager this year on this holiday per se, they will be wearing flower crown that they will carry till they die basically, unless they become a priest or a nun. So therefore, Eileen Byrne from Ireland, Princess Diamanda Landgrab from England, and Rain Greenwood from Scotland all became teenagers and they aged up with the flower crowns in in the Princess Diamanda case, she literally has a flower crown. It's actual crown with the flowers on it. And also only Diamanda rolled to get married. Therefore, she is the one sort of moving forward, and I was very happy about that because, well, the Landgrabs are not doing very good and I really want them to succeed. I don't remember if I ever touched on the topic why I like Landgrabs so much. It's in general for me. I really like evil characters in cartoons and movies because I think they always give the balance and the opposite effect which make you appreciate the kindness of the other character more. So yes, I like Landgrabs. In the main household, our heir, Brian Greenwood, aged up into a toddler. But this year also brought tragedy to Ireland because both Byrne household adults, Pollyanna and Lou, died. So after that, the Byrne family was in a very fragile position because there were some teenagers, some children. Gloria was still alive, but there was like no adults, like no parents, you know. The Garcia family, even though they were still alive, they lost their only daughter Maria, therefore the Garcia family ended there. 1471 brought two major battles during the War of Roses, and one was called the Battle of Barnet, and the other one was Battle of Tewkesbury. But luckily, nobody from our families was enlisted to those. We also had two weddings this year. Adam Greenwood in Scotland married Beatrice, and Lorenzo Angelo in Italy married Peregrine, and this became my new obsession, like family-wise. I'm like, I love this family so much, they're amazing. And in Ireland, we said bye to Phyllis Byrne, who was the twin sister of Edmund, who was our previous head of the dynasty. He was father of Alex, well, he still is father of Alex. And this year was filled with vampire kids' birthdays, and both Vattore and Lothario family in Italy started to become a very notable presence, like there were a lot of them. 1472 was the year the famine started in Italy, but we didn't have to do dice rolls quite yet. It was also a huge year for the newborns because total 8 newborns were born that year instead of 4. In Italy, the new Angelo family, my favorites, welcomed triplets. Girls triplets. Well, actually, it's very quickly became twins because one of them died, but they are still triplets in my head. The Vattore vampire family in Italy welcomed twin boys. In Scotland, the Boyd family, this is our side household because Joyce Boyd is the sister of our current head of the dynasty. But she had twin girls, and I named one of them Zara after Zara Larsson because I had this brain fart in between like filming different parts, and I just was stuck on watching Zara Larsson TikToks. And then I looked at the screen and I was like, what am I doing? I need to name the child. I need to continue with the filming. So I decided that in case it's a girl, I'm gonna name her Zara, and that's happened. In the main household, Alex was abducted by aliens yet again, and Italy faced a major loss because Caleb Vattore, the iconic sim from the Vampires pack, died of old age, and it was literally the same timeline as his twins were born. In 1473 we still had the famine in Italy, but the biggest shock this year was the main household, well, the main Greenwood household in England, because after Alex was abducted by aliens in the last year, this year he gave birth to Anora on the same day as his wife Mona gave birth to their son Christopher, who is now the spare in this bloodline. Alex and Mona, me, decided to hide the fact that this was a child out of marriage, which could actually cause a scandal in future because of the royalty and legacy expansion pack. This year we also added a new country into my challenge, which is Denmark, because Narvatore, who was originally born in Turkey as Nargirei, then married to Italy to Caleb Vattore, and now she accepted a marriage proposal from Denmark. Therefore she moved to Denmark, and we started a new protected family, which is Hansen family there. The main household had many birthdays. Bonnie aged up as adult part 2. Alex's youngest brother Drew became a young adult and moved out immediately. and Mara, Christopher, and Anora all aged up well. In Italy, the Angelo family welcomed twin boys, while in Ireland, Edmund Byrne aged up into a teenager and became the new head of the Byrne family, meaning he will soon be able to continue the Byrne line. 1474 was a very difficult year because the famine reached its peak in Italy. Therefore, we had to do dice rolls for all the Italian population, and it was a d4, and 3 means that the sim would die. But luckily, we only lost 3 sims. It was Angela Angelo, Angela Vecchio. Well, Angela Angelo was named after Angela Vecchio, who used to be named Angela Angelo before she married. And the daughter of Angela Vecchio, Vienna Vecchio. Even though it's not an many sims, it wasn't 25% as the odds were, but it actually was the end of the Vecchio family, and at this point I had a thought that maybe I can still remarry Louis Vecchio to somebody else. Also this year we got our second side household in England because Drew married his ex-imaginary friend, who is now a real sim, Wildy. In Scotland, the twins Anthony and Baldwin aged up well into teenagers, and Sofia Dracos in Greece also became a teenager, but only Baldwin rolled well for his future marriage chances. Back in the main household, Bonnie Greenwood was abducted right at the spot as she was talking to plants in the garden. Even though Italy survived the famine rolls much better than I expected, the main Italian household, the Angelo household, lost both their twin boys at once. But across all the other families, like in general in the world, many toddlers, infants, and newborns rolled well, so the year was definitely full of babies. Like, you can call it a baby boom year for sure. In Turkey, Yanni Girey unfortunately rolled badly on his birthday and died, which led to it being the end of Turkey in my challenge, so we lost Turkey. The royal Landgraf family suffered a big loss because Princess Diamanda died. Therefore, all the hopes of the Landgraf surname, well, surname for sure was always there, but just Landgraf lineage, is now on the shoulders of the King Colin Landgraf. 1475 was basically the calm after the storm year, because previous 2 years were really tough and there was a lot of things happening. In the main household, Alex lost his alien daughter Anora. Even worse, Anselm, who is uncle of Alex, was the one to spill the secret and tell absolutely the whole population of my little Sims save file that Anora was not the actual daughter of Mara. It kind of makes sense. Anselm is not playing a part of being a nice character in my challenge. He's actually quite naughty, even since he was a child. I don't know if you remember this point. It's been many years since I have Anselm in my challenge. His younger brother, who was also alien, Aine, a long time ago, if you remember that Anselm had a brother, was the calm one and the nice one. And Anselm was always the, you know... But basically, Anselm telling the secret about Alex to everybody made Alex very embarrassed for a long time. It was many days, like it was a big scandal. The one nice thing this year was that Brian, our heir of the Greenwood household, aged up into a child. 1476, the famine in Italy strikes again, and we have to do exactly the same roles for everybody in Italy. But this time, the roles were not good at all. We lost Pietro Angelo, Lorenzo Angelo, Guido Angelo, Uberto Angelo, Don Lothario, and Luis Vecchio. This forced many Italian families to stop existing right there, because maybe it was families who didn't have children yet, who were planning to try for baby in future. Was some very good families as well. The worst for me here was Lorenzo, because this was my favorite Italian family. He basically left his pregnant wife Peregrine at this point, and she was also taking care of their twin, who used to be triplets daughters. The best part though is that the main Angelo household survived, and so Daniele and Azalia both rolled well and were able to continue the dynasty. In Denmark, in my newest family, Nar Hansen died. Nar, who used to be Narvatore, and before that Nargirei. So even though I had big expectations for Denmark, I somehow missed the sign that Nar was gonna have a birthday so soon. So her new husband was left to take care of the Vatore kids and their kids. King Colin Landgrab successfully aged up into young adult and was ready to start his family in the following year. And in the main household, Alex and Mona welcomed a new daughter, and we named her Bella after the mother of Alex's fifth great grandmother Cassandra. Because if you remember, Cassandra was the wife of my head of the dynasty. Therefore, the God family is very tightly knitted into the bloodline, you know? 1477 was quite uneventful versus the previous year, but we still had two weddings. In Scotland, Aine Greenwood married Sable, while King Colin Landgrab married Wisteria. And this royal family is like doing full-on marketing. They went full red Lumberjacksons family colors, which is red and yellow and orange, but they are focusing on red. And I like them a lot, and I really wish them all the best, and I hope they will continue the Landgrabs a little bit more. Bonnie Greenwood was abducted again, and at this point in this recap I am skipping a lot of abductions because they kept on happening, and I lowered the settings quite a bit, and I don't know why this is still happening in the main household. The last 2 years are quite eventful, so beware. In 1478 we had the Battle of Guinea in Spain, but both Diego and Domingo Aguilera survived. In the main household, Bella Greenwood aged up into a toddler. And then Bonnie gave birth to an alien daughter, Emma. Since Bonnie is not really Alex's biological mother, Emma is actually not related to the main household in any way, just through the marriage of her mother. Therefore, currently Emma is in the main household, but in future Emma will be married to somebody, to whoever will be in the roles, you know, like I'm very curious about how this is gonna go. Baldwin Greenwood rolled very well and aged up into young adult and was ready to start his own family in the following year. Meanwhile, the Landgrabs welcomed their firstborn, the Princess Dorothy Landgrab. 1479 started with yet another marriage in Scotland, and at this point Scotland is the strongest country in my challenge. And so the new family was Baldwin Greenwood, who married Sierra, and this created my first ever alien family. Baldwin is actually a hybrid sim, while Sierra is a full alien. The most important event of this year, or maybe even of the whole decade, is that Alex successfully aged up into adult. His daughter Mara also had a birthday and successfully aged up into a child. 3 Sims became teenagers this year: the Greek twins Magnus and Petros, and Isabel Byrne in Ireland. But only Magnus and Isabel rolled well for future marriage and pregnancy chances. Princess Dorothy Landgrab became a toddler, and overall, newborns, infants, and toddlers had very, very good dice rolls this year. But Spain was hit with a major unlucky situation because both heads of both Spanish families, and they're both Aguilera families, Diego and Domingo, who are also twins, died on their birthdays because they had horrible luck with the dice rolls. In Diego's case, his wife was left with their children, and in Domingo's case, his wife was left all alone, unfortunately, because they were very unlucky with the childbirth in this family. And well, guys, my second ever Express decade is over. Last time I did it was for winter holidays, I believe, in December, so 6 months ago, more or less, right? And it's always so difficult to do, but I am determined to do 2 more Express decade this year, and I'm already thinking of different ways in which I could like make it even easier on myself, because this past months was very hard between filming and editing the videos, you know. So your support on the videos is highly appreciated. I hope you enjoyed this series, and I hope you enjoyed this decade. And if you did, please don't forget to click like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye! Bonnie, the King Colin Landgrab success. King. So this is so this decade. So the 1470s decade was a